This video serves as a follow-up to my live stream that I did a couple hours ago, and also for those of you that don't necessarily have time to watch the whole live stream or didn't get to catch it tonight. And this is on the fact that the new Attorney General nominee, Bill Barr, is apparently anti-gun, pretty obviously anti-gun, and the fact that we need to stop him. And the only thing we can do right now to stop him is to call our senators and tell them that we oppose this nomination and that we expect them to vote no on the nomination of Bill Barr for Attorney General. And what I touched on in the stream tonight was the fact that the NSSF, as in the NSSF that puts on SHOT Show, they're actually supporting Bill Barr. So we need to take that into account. And I wanted to review another article here and comment on it that gives a little more information about the NSSF stance and some of the points of view of Bill Barr in general. So this article I have here today in front of me is titled Gun Rights Groups, We Object to William Barr Being Confirmed as AG. And I got this from townhall.com, and it's written by Beth Bowman. And it says, the Firearms Policy Coalition on Wednesday sent a letter to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican Kentucky, stating their opposition to William Barr being confirmed as Attorney General. Their biggest objection to Barr is over his previously stated support for extreme risk protection orders, commonly referred to as red flag laws, and his belief that there is room for reasonable regulation of the Second Amendment. And I talked quite a bit about that earlier, guys. Specifically, Barr's 1991 confirmation hearing is what gun groups have cited as reasons for objecting to his current confirmation hearings. And if you go back and looked at what he said in 91, the fact that he has supported the assault weapons ban and the crime bill, the fact that he supported high-capacity magazines, bans, he also supported the Brady bill with the waiting period. Go back and look all this up, guys, or refer to my live stream that I just did. Anyways, it says, this is a strong indicator that Mr. Barr, if confirmed, would not only maintain the DOJ's troubling current litigation positions, but potentially even direct United States attorneys and DOJ civil litigation counsel across the nation to take more aggressively anti-rights, authoritarian positions on a wide variety of prosecutions and constitutional challenges. This is not the proper remedy for centuries of constitutional resistance and atrophy, the group said in the letter. We believe that the views expressed by Mr. Barr disqualify him from serving as the nation's highest law enforcement officer. The Constitution, the people of the United States, and law-abiding gun owners do not need another enemy. Isn't that the truth? When we elected Trump, he said the 8-year assault on the Second Amendment is over. And this is Trump's nominee, guys. So regardless whether you support Trump or not, that's besides the fact. I don't know if Trump knew about this or not, but whether he did or not, it's kind of besides the point. He's already the nominee, and right now, it's in the hands of the senators. It says, Gun Owners of America expressed similar concern with Barr's nomination and sent out an action alert to gun owners across the nation. The group encouraged their members to call their senators and let them know they oppose Barr because of his alleged anti-gun position. And then I'll quote, when Barr openly spat on the right to keep and bear arms on Tuesday and threatened to break down our doors in the middle of the night and in order to confiscate our guns, well, that's a problem for us, GOA's Executive Director Eric Pratt said in the alert. Listening to William Barr, there is no doubt that he will be an enemy of the Second Amendment. He even talks like an anti-gunner. And I agree, too, because I heard him say in his Senate hearing when Dianne Feinstein was questioning him, he said his first and his number one priority would be to look at red flag laws, which in other words is confiscation, take the guns first, due process later. And he also said he would be open to reasonable, quote, restrictions on our gun rights. Dr. Lott, the president of Crime Research Prevention Center, shared similar sentiments. He released the following statement right before Barr's confirmation hearing began. And when it comes to Dr. Lott, guys, he's probably one of the premier experts and scholars on the Second Amendment. He's written great books like More Guns, Less Crime. This is a reputable guy here, John Lott. So here's what John Lott had to say. Excuse me. Gun control questions will be on the agenda for William P. Barr, both because of his willingness during his 1991 confirmation hearing to accept, under certain conditions, an assault weapons ban, as well as concerns about red flag laws, also called extreme risk protection orders. ERPOs allow courts to confiscate people's guns merely on the basis of, quote, reasonable grounds for believing that a person is a danger to himself or others. But the laws never spell out exact criteria for meeting these evidentiary thresholds. It is left to the eye of the beholder, in this case a judge, to determine if someone poses a danger. Those who are involved in enforcing these laws will identify people based on violent histories or even on the basis of age or gender. But people who are convicted of felonies are already prohibited from owning guns. If gun control advocates think that people should lose the right to self-defense because of a simple arrest, there is a real concern that blacks and Hispanics will be disproportionately targeted by these laws, since both groups have a much higher arrest rate than whites. There is a real concern whether Barr will fight against what will obviously be such discriminatory laws. I think that's well said by Mr. Lott. Here's the kicker, guys, and this is where I'm following up to my stream that I had last night. The National Shooting Sports Foundation, however, NSSF, the people that put on SHOT Show, right, that's going on right now, however, feels as though Barr would protect gun owners and their Second Amendment rights. And here's their statement that they put out, the NSSF. Based on available testimony, President Trump's nominee for Attorney General is one which the firearms industry and gun owners will find confidence in to protect the rights and focus efforts to reduce the criminal misuse of firearms where it is most needed. Mr. Barr's testimony indicated he shares NSSF's view. There is more attention and resources needed to address mental health and ensuring prohibited persons never possessing a firearm. He cited the Fix NICS Act, signed into law last year and named for NSSF's campaign to encourage states to submit all disqualifying adjudicated mental health and criminal background records to the FBI's National Instant Criminal Background Check System, NICS. Additionally, Mr. Barr explained in his testimony that when he previously served as Attorney General, he held then and now that the Second Amendment is an individual right that includes the right to possess modern sporting rifles, which he said the Heller decision vindicated his convictions. He rejects calls for bans of these semi-automatic rifles and said efforts that don't focus on keeping firearms from prohibited individuals are rhetoric. Everything presented so far indicates the firearms industry would find faith in Mr. Barr as Attorney General to protect the lawful commerce in arms. So the NSSF supports the nomination of Bill Barr, even though in the past, in 91, he was anti-gun on the record. In 94, when he was back in front of the Senate again, in a hearing, he was under oath and on the record talking about reasonable restrictions, supporting gun control. And there's even new information now provided by Gun Owners of America, which I talked about thoroughly in my stream, which if you have the time, guys, I encourage you to go back and watch that. My last post before this. Where there's actually ties of his involvement in Ruby Ridge, where he knew about it before they were planning on doing what they did, and even afterwards his attempts to cover it up. So I don't want to get too deep into this. I'm trying to do a short video, guys, just as a follow-up to my stream, and for the people that just don't have time to, go back and watch the couple-hour-long stream that I did on this. But so apparently the NSSF, as in SHOT Show NSSF, they're fully supporting Mr. Barr, despite the fact that his first and most important job as Attorney General is going to be to look at passing red flag laws and enforcing them. No good. He says that, yeah, he believes in the Second Amendment. Of course he does, guys. Even the Democrats and the people that are anti-gunners, they all say they, quote, support the Second Amendment. But they say reasonable restrictions, right? That's part of the other side's rhetoric. William Barr, nominee for Attorney General, he's used the same exact words. He's used the reasonable word. So this is a guy that supports red flag laws, take the guns first, due process later. He supports, quote, reasonable restrictions. He's done it in the past, as in 18 years ago past, and he's said anti-gun comments supporting, gun control to Dianne Feinstein just last week, and others in the Senate hearing. Go back and watch them. So just because NSSF believes that this is good for the industry and good for gun owners doesn't mean it's good for liberty or patriots or true supporters of the Bill of Rights, guys. Just remember, just because someone's a gun owner has nothing to do with whether they support the Bill of Rights, the Constitution in general, or whether they're on our side for the Second Amendment. Many, many, many anti-gunners that want to take pretty much every gun that we have away from us still claim to be gun owners and support the, quote, Second Amendment. So just because gun owners approve of Mr. Barr, not this gun owner, not me. And I would hope not you either. They also say here that the firearms industry, well, that doesn't weigh too well with me either. First of all, let me say this. There's many, many, many pro-gun people in the industry, of course. But remember, Springfield Armory, Rock River Arms, they're also part of the gun industry. So just because the gun industry says somebody is good for gun owners, we can't always trust that either. Those are just two small examples. Ruger in the past, Smith & Wesson in the past. There's two more. So just because this is good for the gun industry, NSSF supports it. We're all enjoying the SHOT Show. Everyone wants to go to SHOT Show. I mean, I'm not there, but I'm saying as a whole, the industry gets all excited about SHOT Show. But just remember, NSSF, SHOT Show NSSF, they're supporting Bill Barr, who supports red flag laws, take the guns first, due process later, and reasonable restrictions. And you don't have to take my word for it. This is well documented in both video and different news articles and editorials. So just wanted to throw this out there, guys. Add a little bit to that. I'm trying to cite my sources here. Some of this video has been my opinion, but a lot of it's just darn cold facts. So I would encourage you guys to do. Call your senators, Republican or Democrat. Call them and tell them that you oppose William Barr, Bill Barr, as the nominee for Attorney General, and you'd like them to vote against him. And here's the kicker at the very end of the article, by the way, guys. The National Rifle Association of America did not respond to Town Hall's request for a comment. Have a good one, guys.